Hi, everybody. Ken Johnson here with you. And yep, the pattern as we head into next week is going to be favorable for several waves of some cold air from the Arctic regions of the world to head down to the south. So get ready. We got some cold weather on the way. And if everything comes together, some places could wind up seeing even some more chances for ice and snow across parts of the central and southern United States. But currently, we look at the warm weather in the deep south across, this is Thursday, February, this is now here. So there's your warm weather down to the south here. Some cooler air in the middle part of the country, but your cold air is kind of locked up, the really cold stuff, northern part of the United States and then back into Canada and the Arctic regions of the world. We're going to watch this area up here. This is what's happening. You've got warm air. You can actually see the color contours there, a little bit warmer into Alaska, beginning to push up into Alaska. When that happens, it causes the jet stream to go over the polar regions, the Arctic regions of the world, and then dip down through Canada and into the United States. It's called cross-polar flow. And when that happens, again, it gets cold over us. And if we take a look, and again, this is as of right now, you got a big contrast from the Arctic, Canada, northern U.S., all the way down to the southern part of the United States and down into Mexico here. And when you see these temperature contrasts like this, you know there's a big battle zone taking place, and it's not out of the ordinary to see this starting in February and getting into March. You got the warmer air trying to come in from the south as the Earth begins to tilt back towards the sun in the northern hemisphere, but you still got cold air to the north. And again, it's this battle zone that can lead to these wild weather patterns and also wild swings in temperatures and contrast like we've been seeing across a good part of the southern U.S. here this week. So there's your polar vortex. This is your upper level weather pattern here. This is the jet stream. This is as of this upcoming Saturday. The polar vortex, and again, there's your ridge. That's the warmer air pushing up into Alaska. There's your colder air on the backside of it stretching back into the western part of the country. When you see this type of pattern, it's called stretched out here a bit. This can lead to a couple things. One, you get the cold air coming in from the north, and then you get the southern and the Pacific jet across the southern part of the country. This can provide storm systems and moisture. This provides the cold air, and where the two can interact can be wintry precipitation. So we'll have to watch that into next week. As I put this in motion, you can see these waves of cold air, these little disturbances dropping to the south. Here comes a disturbance on Monday, February the 10th, and this could throw some light wintry precipitation back into the mix across parts of the central and maybe south central United States here. We're talking about Texas, Oklahoma, and into Kansas. It just depends on the track that they take, and it's too early to get specific with all of that. We just know that the pattern, at this point in time, you look at pattern recognition, and you know the pattern recognition may indeed be there. And then here we go, Wednesday, another little piece of energy moving through, and again, this could interact with the colder air, and once again, there could be some chances for more ice and snow and rain in some locations here. So we're tracking fronts, and the fronts are going to be coming through here starting this weekend and into next week. The first front drops down into Texas on Saturday afternoon. Out ahead of it, warm again. But behind it, we get a more consistent cold pattern. That cold air from Canada and the northern U.S. is going to continue to steadily drop to the south, and another wave comes in around Tuesday of next week. And once again, this just keeps the air cold over us, and these little disturbances that can track along these fronts here give us those chances for wintry precipitation and rain in some locations here. So if we check out temperatures, we're looking at focused in on Texas and Oklahoma here. This is Saturday. Look at the contrast from north to south on this map. A lot of color showing up there. And then we get into Sunday. You don't have a big blast of cold air coming in here yet, but here we go Monday, and there it starts coming on in, and here comes another disturbance over the Rockies. You can kind of see where the winds converge here. This is another disturbance, and there's your Arctic air. Some really cold stuff coming in behind this one here, and this gets down our way or down into the central and southern U.S. Into Wednesday, Tuesday of next week, maybe into Thursday, and then we begin to warm up towards the end of next week. In fact, you can see another little surge of warm air. But, you know, we'll watch perhaps another disturbance up this way. Could bring some more chilly stuff later in February. But this is it. You're going to see these wide ranges in temperatures and all this back and forth that's going to take place. And eventually this could lead to severe weather as we head later on over into the spring. Usually the severe weather gets started in the latter part of February and March across the deep south. I'm talking about the Dixie Alley, those areas over to the east. And then it gradually spreads north and westward throughout the spring here. We're not ready to start talking about it yet. All right, so early next week, again, you've got these disturbances This is just kind of an early look at it, not getting specific here. We're going to go with rain, at least for right now, across North Texas into southern Oklahoma, but back into the north where the air is a little bit colder, and if that moisture can interact, could be a wintry mix in places like, maybe Oklahoma City, Wichita, Kansas, back into the Texas Panhandle here, and that could extend over there up towards Joplin, Missouri, Springfield, maybe even Kansas City. Now, as we head towards the middle of next week, here comes that next surge of cold air, a little bit further to the south this time, and another disturbance could bring another chance for precipitation. And again, there could be some wintry stuff with this, maybe a little further south this go-around. This is not an official forecast, but again, I'm showing you the possibilities that may indeed exist. As of right now, it doesn't look like a big winter storm, but things can certainly come together and change for that. It's just the pattern recognition is what we're kind of focused in on at the moment here. Some places will see rain, some places might see some wintry stuff, while others wind up maybe not getting much of anything, but certainly does look like it will be a lot colder into next week. Thanks for watching, and remember to like and follow my social media page.